Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our producer, Jeff Durall. We're on stage at the Beach Smith Performing Arts Center in preparation for this year's High Plains Music Camp at Fort Hays State University, and we're talking with some of the campers, some of the counselors, and the director of the camp. The event, of course, Sunday, July 13th through Saturday, July 19th. It's an annual event at Fort Hays State University that draws some 300 music students to campus, and counselors, we should mention, plus clinicians as well. And one of those members who is going to be a part of it has been here for about 7 years now, trombonist Alex Crowley from Hays High School. Alex, you're a senior this coming year, right?
Yep, I'll be a senior this year at Hays High.
Tell me about the camp and what it means to you.
Well, this is my 7th year camp. I started when I was 6th grade after my parents said, hey, go do this camp. You can do something for your summer. I just started trombone in my band, and I honestly say I fell in love playing trombone. Some great people I worked with, such as Dr. Weaver, Dr. Clark, and clinicians like, I think, wasn't it the one jazz guy? I forgot his name, but anyway, he's kind of important.
You're not talking about Brad Dawson, are you?
No, he plays trumpet.
Oh.
But anyway,
oh, he's just trumpet player.
yeah,
okay.
he's just trumpet player.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying to think of the name, but I can't think of it anymore.
Yeah, maybe it'll
Yeah,
come to you.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, they were a great staff, and the counselors here are cool. Like Trevor Duell and a bunch of other people too, were like getting their doctorates at, like, say, like North Texas or whatnot. They come back to camp and like connect with us and tell us to go to bed at night and stop staying and playing Xbox, late in dorms.
Those counselors.
But yeah, and yeah, I absolutely love going to camp here. It's absolutely fun.
And what do you think you take away from it at the end of camp every year, Alex?
Probably gonna take away like new friends, great experience, what to do and what not to do in the dorm, and yeah,
and a lot of playing time.
yeah, a lot of playing time too. But also you come with a lot of skills and a lot of techniques. You learn your instrument, and if you want to do vocals, well, it's like playing instruments, you learn a lot of stuff there. Schedule-wise, what to do with your time management, just a whole lot of stuff, honestly.
Another camper who is also a Hays High student and somebody who has just returned from a trip to Carnegie Hall. Alex, or Amy, that was kind of an experience itself, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I also went with Alex Crowley. We went with the Hays High Chamber Singers, and we premiered a Requiem by Dan Forrest. We also went with Rainey. She's in Chamber Singers, too.
You also do, as well as vocal, instrumental, right?
Yeah, I've played clarinet since I was 9, and I played bassoon for about 5 years.
And you've also worked as part of the choral work, which has been, 3 years now here at High Plains Music Camp, where vocal was added.
I've never been a vocal camper, but I've done the camp chorus every year that meets at like 7:30 a.m. or something ungodly like that. And that's under Terry Kroll's direction, and that's always fun because it's not just the vocal students, it's the instrumentalists too, so it gives everyone a chance to perform together.
Well, and he's always ready to wake you up too if you happen to die.
That's very true.
Clarinetist, how'd you get started on clarinet?
My dad is the director of bands here at Fort Hays, and so after concerts, we would go to different restaurants with the other staff here at Fort Hays, and they started talking about what instruments they wanted me to play, and they were like, wow, yeah, Amy has to do percussion, and eventually I was like, well, I'm going to do clarinet. So once my hands were big enough, I started playing clarinet, and I really, really like it. Yeah.
We talked about the vocal aspect of the High Plains Music Camp, and one of those vocal performers is Rainey Peacock, who just graduated from Hays High School. So you're a pro at this, all right, Rainey?
I would not say pro, but pretty close, I guess.
All right. From the aspect of voice, then, how'd you get involved in vocal work?
Well, since in kindergarten to first grade, when I started, figuring out my voice and realized I could sing, no one could shut me up. There was this one fellow student of mine, he counted the days during school how I would keep singing, and he lost count after 3 months. So it's something that when I started singing, I just realized I was like, I had something that not everyone has, and it's something I really wanted to learn more about and see what I could do with it. So,
Well, what do you hope to do with it?
well, with a lot of inspiration from my fellow chamber singers and my mentors, Ivaiah Allen and Mr. Johnny Matlock, I am going to Fort Hays here and to double major in vocal performance and music education to be a music teacher. And sometimes, there's that occasional dream of performing on Broadway and Disney and stuff. But yeah, it's something I've just love to do, and it's my passion.
Of course, you realize if you do come to Fort Hays State and perform in vocal ensembles that you'll have to deal with Dr. Kroll.
Oh yes, I've had my past experiences with him. He's
So what is Dr. Kroll really like, Rainey?
Okay.
Never mind. We'll move on to another quick question here before the actual truth comes out here. All right, talk about your performance at Carnegie Hall along with the other chamber singers, Johnny Matlock, Lexi Robinson, all the group that went along with Dr. Jordan as well. Talk about that.
I am just going to say this first. I cannot pick a better group to go with. I am blessed with chamber singers and with Mr. Johnny Matlock and Lexi Robinson and Jeff Jordan. The experience there, when you first walk up there, and for dress rehearsal even, when you just look out and all that space, it was just so incredible and breathtaking. Like, I forgot to breathe for about a minute. But when we had to stand there for approximately a little less than 40 minutes singing the entire Requiem. It was a Requiem for the Living by Dan Forrest, and we had to stand there like this, knees locked, elbows locked, sweat and fainting, everything dizzy. But it was such an experience because everything didn't matter in the room except your connection with the conductor and with the orchestra. So it's something that you can probably only experience at Carnegie Hall. So yeah, I'm going to take that with me through the rest of my life.
Amazing experience, Rainey. Thank you. Let's talk to one of the counselors now, if we could. Emily Cox is a counselor. Been doing this 6 years, huh?
Yeah, it's I started out as a camper and just couldn't imagine July without camp in it, so I've come back ever since.
Well,
so.
I wondered how in the world you put up with this for 6 years. Now, these,
It's a lot of fun. We create memories just like the campers do in the faculty, so it wouldn't be. It's camp. So
well, you make them toe the line too, don't you?
Of course.
Yeah. Early to bed, early to rise.
Yes.
Keeps them out of trouble that way. Tell me about band camp and what your experience is. You were a camper prior to being a counselor, I assume.
Yes. Let's see. My experience. You meet new people, and you gather information to take back home to your classroom. So as a camper, you learn new things, and you take it back home and show other classmates what you learn, and then they want to come back to camp with you the next year. And as a counselor, you learn from the students. It's just we're kind of campers ourselves, but in a grown-up role. So
now, what about instruments, vocal, instrumental?
I love to sing, but I'm an instrumentalist on clarinet. So
what kind of support did you get early on for clarinet?
It started out with Renetta Dawson. As a grade schooler, she just pushed, and I fell in love with the bass clarinet, actually. So that's my primary.
What would you recommend to parents as far as support? We like to ask this question occasionally, Emily, about parents being able to support their young people in a music involvement in school.
Let them explore. Don't crush their dreams. I mean, not everybody is sports oriented, so if music is their calling, let them explore in it.
We've also heard different people say that they should explore different instruments, for example, ones that might fit their particular personality and performance level.
I've tried different instruments as well. As clarinet is my first, I play the drums as well and a little bit, and then just explore and touch different instruments. Get to know them. You'll find the right one eventually. So
you'll be able to recognize Emily. She has the blue shirt on, and the campers actually have what is that? Kind of an orange shirt, I guess.
Highlighter yellow.
What is green? Basic green. Okay. And once again, the poster there, Jeff will get a shot of that for the concerts, which we will talk to our counselor, Avela. Come on in and Let's visit with a director now in her third year at Fort Hays State University's High Plains Music Camp. Talk about the camp itself. Some 300 students will be on hand, but you also have day camps available too,
Well, the 300 actually includes the day campers. Right now we have 14 day campers, and the rest stay in the dorms in McMindus Hall and Wiest Hall. Many of the faculty also stay in McMindus Hall. Everyone eats in the dining area of McMindus, so the campers and the counselors and the faculty get a real sense of the campus, going from Malloy Hall to Tamanic Hall, here in Beach Schmidt, the dorms. They're just all over campus.
In addition to the daily presentations as well as performance, rehearsals, clinics and such, you also have clinicians come in who are high caliber, always have been at High Plains Band.
Absolutely. That was, excuse me, a standard that Hal Palmer set back in the very beginning. This year we have Dr. Timothy Marr, a guest band clinician. He is the band director at St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota. He has been literally all over the world as a band clinician and conductor. So we are very, very fortunate to get him. And then we have Ken Poplowski, who is our guest performer. He is a clarinetist for our clarinet people here. And he does both classical. He's an excellent classical clarinetist, as well as jazz. Specifically, he has kind of incorporated the Benny Goodman style and does a lot of big band, and has also done a lot of arrangements. So not only at camp will you hear him perform, but you'll hear the jazz band perform his own arrangements of some things. So that's very exciting.
We would also like to encourage you to join, because there are public performances each evening at Beach Schmidt Performing Arts Center, very comfortable location, and those performances are free and open to the public.
Absolutely. We would love to have this concert hall filled every night. The campers are required to be here, but we would love to have anyone who can come from far and wide. We have people who come up from Dodge City every year for the concerts, but Monday through Thursday, all concerts start at 7 o'clock here in Beach Schmidt. On Friday, it's a little different. We have music theater scenes this year from Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. And then the faculty string ensembles will be in Felton Start. That starts at 6 o'clock Friday. And here in Beach Schmidt on Friday, starting at 6:30, we have the student jazz bands, followed by the faculty jazz bands. And then we will have out in the lobby, as people leave, the student string or alternative strings, which is very fun, hearing violins, violas, and cellos on rock and pop tunes and so forth.
And if you happen to notice the types of classes that are available, they're traditional, but there are also something called the yoga for musicians, which should be interesting. These are some of the participants for this year's High Plains Music Camp at Fort Hays State University, now in its 67th year. One of the premier events in the Midwest, the High Plains Music Camp. With our guest today, the director of the facility and also on the voice faculty at Fort Hays State University, Dr. Ivaiah Allen, and our other guests, Emily Cox, the counselor, also Amy Jordan, and we have as well Rainey Peacock and Alex Crowley. Thanks for joining us on our Community Connection. Thanks to our producer, Jeff Durall, from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching.